So we really doing this, GamerGuyd. You actually did it. Gosh. I really don't want to make this video. Damn. Fucking Prophet Guide. You over here. I'm honestly kind of sick to my stomach watching this because I'm scared to see where this is finna go. What's good, YouTube? Dream Soul Gaming here. Today I'm bringing y'all my reaction to a 52-minute long video. Wow. This is also my first reaction video as well. I'm not doing any editing. It's basically a pseudo live reaction. I'm not doing any editing. All this is just gonna be in one take. I'm not doing that with my reactions. Makes it seem fake. Anyways, I'm already gonna give this a like, cause anyways, this is Content Ring Adventure, The Crimes of Cobanermani456, done by GamerGuyd. Okay, for those of y'all who don't know me on Twitter, Kobe is my favorite YouTuber of all time. He got me into Sonic besides Lost World and Sonic X. He was the first person I watched on YouTube. He's the reason why I have a channel in the first place. It's just, yeah. It's really just, it's gonna be hell for all of us, I know. Yeah, also this is my face, yeah. For some of y'all who haven't seen me on Twitter, this is a clearer look at my face. Maybe I should turn on my brightness. Nah, leave it up. But yep, this is a clearer look at my face. So without any further ado, let's get into this video. Ay.
GamerGuyd 7 Aces. He targeted Cobanermani456 when he was an autistic minor with GamerGuyd 7 Aces under the alias Dennis Wallace. And he was like, when should I post screenshots of this girl's allegations being full of holes and female narcissistic abuse? I posted a comment on your other video, but I approved for playing mind games with someone with autism and slandering him. Not to mention choosing to be friends with abusers, thieves, and predators. The very people who targeted him. Check out my playlist. I know that there's a lot of scandals surrounding GamerGuyd 7 Aces, so I don't even know if I really want to talk really get into
also,
that.
Be prepared for tears. That may actually happen. I'm emotionally attached to this man.
Cat is stretching the truth, manipulating the situation, things like that. Remember when I actually said that and pointed that out on my channel? That's when Cat and a bunch of her freaking white knights attacked me. But this isn't the first scandal that GamerGuyd 7 Aces has been a part of, and I've never really liked him because of that. I don't want to just take everybody else's, words for it, for, how scummy he could be. But given that a lot of people have, shown me a lot of evidence for just how scummy he can be, that's why I've kept my distance from the guy. Because in those screenshots that I saw that I can't show you guys are just going to have to take my word for it. But a part of me doesn't even want to really talk about it, but I will say this. It adds up.
Hi, it's me, Kat Harwell.
Damn, breathing on the mic much?
In regards to GamerGuyd and Rakib. I see a lot of you talking about they were involved. They were not. I did not know GamerGuyd existed. He did not know I existed until I first publicly outed Kobe in 2018. He, like many of you, did not even believe me and believe Kobe. So regardless of whatever they had in the past, he still believes him. Blindly, like many of you do, right? He, later on, after we talked,
I'm going to show y'all something after this.
I did not post. which is now posted,
I'm gonna show y'all
right?
something after this.
Rakib, I
don't
only
know how
spoke
much
to twice,
validity
and
it
that
has,
was
but
when he
judging
was
by the
living
screenshots in
with
this other
Kobe
video I watched,
back in
I'm gonna show y'all.
2017 or 2018. I can't remember the year. They were living together. Since all of you guys are speculating about him leaving, how about you go look at the video of him being in that backyard where they lived at together and see how he said he wanted nothing to do with YouTube because the channel didn't feel like his. Because of you, the fans that you are, and your obsessiveness, many YouTubers quit. This is a person who's been trying to quit. So if you talk about you care about anybody's mental health, whether it's me with PTSD or him with whatever diagnosis he has, and stop using whatever narcissistic mother he had. That's not your story to speak on. So if that's true about him and his family, which I'm not going to speak
I
on,
jerk or shake
that's not your
uncontrollably. I
business.
can't help it.
And that
I'm
doesn't
actually kind of
dismiss what he
terrified,
did
nervous,
because he
scared.
had a therapist
I
that
got
I helped
anxiety
him
issues.
find,
Just
and he
ignore
had
it.
the help that he could have
I'm
got.
a bit twitchy
That
in these
having and
situations.
growing up with an abuser does not mean that you should be abusive. So no, neither of these people were involved. Shut up, present your proof, or shut up. Present your proof of anything that you have to say and stop he say, she say. Talk directly to the
What the
source.
hell?
Show your proof. You can't show proof, then it does.
Why? I think I've been framed. Why is there another person with my name? You know what? I'm just gonna ignore that. I don't even know why there's somebody. Okay. That was not me. Whoever this is right here, that's not me. I'm telling you, that's not me. Same name. But I never had Twitter until a couple months ago. Like, I don't know. It's a couple months ago, but it's not either early in late 2019 or early 2020. But my parents are very strict. If y'all actually talk to me on the phone, you'll probably hear outbursts and stuff. It's not me. Interesting. I think I've been framed. But yeah, this is actually my name. So yeah, just let y'all know on that.
So no.
I cannot rap to save my life. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I cannot rap to save my life. I don't know how I do a diss track because I don't even like roasting people. I like to be neutral, even though I do act up on Twitter. But we're not gonna get into that.
No, neither of these people were involved. Shut up, present your proof, or shut up. Present your proof of anything that you have to say and stop he say, she say. Talk directly to the source. Show your proof. If you can't show proof, then it's not real. Shut up.
Criminal, abuser, liar, baby killer, illegal immigrant, manipulative, stalker.
Nigga, what?
Does this sound like Cobanermani456, aka Cobanermani456?
Hell no.
Or does it sound like someone else? Well, it's time to destroy this man's false legacy because people need to know who the real Cobanermani is.
With my name.
And it's about damn time. I've been planning on making a video about this for a while now, especially since some idiots like Cobaner personnel, who claim to be an insider on Kobe's whereabouts, have been trying to accuse me as being the reason why Kobe left, which I have already explained before in a previous video last year, link below in the description. In that video, I went easy on Kobe, showing my conversation with him on Facebook, and overall, I portrayed him as a victim, as someone who didn't really know what he was doing to Kat, and was just in love with her, when that was not the case. Cobanermani is far from being a victim of anything, but he's definitely abused many female victims who have been afraid to speak out, afraid of Kobe's fan base retaliating and sending them death threats. Well, I'm going to speak out for them, because my blood is boiling from discovering all this and having to hide it for years. I'm done hiding the truth. After you watch this video, you will view him very differently, and this might ruin the way you view the Sonic community in general. Might even make you view it in the same light as the Smash community. But this will teach you a valuable lesson. to never idolize celebrities, especially YouTubers. Most of you will never know these people in real life or what their true intentions are, so stop looking up to them. You can enjoy their content, but do not make us your role models. Now this video will be a little unorthodox, since before I was planning on revealing these extremely sensitive texts towards the end of the video. However, these are so important that I feel it's better to just cut straight to the chase and show them now. As most of you know, Cobanermani left social media after Kat Hartwell exposed him for cyberstalking and harassing her. After appearing in a few of Solipone's vids on Smash Bros. Ultimate, he left for good and hasn't been seen since. These texts I'm about to show you are from December of 2019 last year.
Okay. I'll let y'all know this now. As a Kobe fan, I'm probably gonna believe this and not believe it. Probably gonna believe it, but not believe it. If that makes sense to you. I'm probably just gonna try to okay, this happened. Okay, I'm gonna just stay neutral. And yeah, cause that's like me turning on Michael Jackson, even though I know for a fact he's fucking innocent, but you know, people are too fucking retarded to know that.
Kat Hartwell updated me on what Kobe has been doing, and you won't believe what I'm about to share with you.
Wait a minute.
Let's get straight to it.
So, wait. Update on what Kobe's been doing? Hold on, how do you get mad at him for stalking you, but then you're still talking to him? What? Okay, you know what? I'm just let the video roll.
Now she writes, LOL, this why I don't put my business public either. LOL, Kobe wife hit me up. Yo, he crazy, by the way. Apparently he married some girl, LMFAO. She messaged me looking for him. He lost his shit, but she seemed crazy too. And I write, LOL, what? And then she says, yes, man. And then I say, damn, I should have never stopped talking to you. He says, crazy. Kobe married? He lost his shit and they lying, making it seem like he fine. But he stopped talking to all his friends. And I write, what did he do? She writes, this girl was trying to reach me for days, saying she need my help. Apparently he manipulated her too. And I write, LOL, okay, I'm gonna need some proof, cause this sounding crazy as fuck. He says, wait, let me tell you everything first. And I write, LOL, this why you want to talk again? She writes, because I don't know. I was withholding the whole thing because she sounded scared, to be honest. So I never said anything publicly. And clearly she on some type of rehab, she said. Oh, LOL, I kinda already tweeted it though, LOL, just said Kobe tied the knot. And she writes, SMH, this why I can't tell you nothing. Yeah, because, you know, this was before I used to tweet some things out, and then she told me to stop making this public because this is very secretive. You know, so I had to talk with her again about releasing these texts because this is very sensitive information. Now I'm going to blow her out. Black women, though. And then she says, this is the 5th girl. So basically she's saying this is the 5th girl that Kobe has, you know, been with and abused. And I write, if only he knew how to treat them. LOL. And she writes, LMFAO, he settled for this girl. He crazy, man. Once you hear the details, you're going to see how crazy he is. I doubt he has ASD. He's just manipulative. And when she says ASD, she means autistic spectrum disorder, which Kobe did say he had some form of Asperger's and autism. I don't buy it. I think he's lying just to get, you know, scot-free, just to get sympathy card. He's playing the sympathy card. I don't believe for a second he has autism. I just think he's manipulative and maybe sociopathic. So I write, alright, tell me. And she says, LMFAO, Kobe crazy, and it's
GamerGuyd. How many times have you called somebody a sociopath and they're really not? I don't know, I'm being biased here. Continue.
Fucks his fans so young. This girl crazy too, though. He says, I told Alice about it all, though. Now she's talking about Alice Pico, who was Etika's ex. And I write, wow, well, please spill the details. She writes, because the girl made it seem like he coming after me. Man, Kobe too far gone. And she says, honestly, shit's scary. I'll send the voice note. So she basically had to send me some voice text and stuff, but she still wrote a lot of text here. I told her to do that for evidence. And then she writes, it's bad. It's a lot of info. And to be honest, I'm kind of scared. I told most of his close friends, so they know now too. And I wrote, what did they do about it? Did they believe you this time? And she said, yeah, I showed John everything too. When she says John, she's talking about Giancarlo. I'm sure some of you guys know him. He's big in the Pokemon community. And she writes, apparently he, Kobe, was telling people he don't want to talk to anyone. And I write, damn, what did John say? And she writes, he was shocked and disgusted. And John has done some stuff too. So if John is shocked and disgusted at you, you know you really done goofed. And she writes, yeah, but I don't know. It's scary. And I want to say more, but I'm scared. Like, I don't want him to come to my house. And I write, oh, wow. It's been over 5 girls he's done this to. Yeah, I'm actually scared. Like, y'all don't know him. The girl is terrified herself, and she got proof. And she writes, I want to talk about it so you can give insight. And I write, I'm just frustrated hearing about that because I don't like not being able to help out. Kind of feel powerless, so I'm kind of in a hear no evil, speak no evil mood. So basically, this is just me telling her that hearing all these bad news about Kobe is very deeply disheartening to me because, like, I mean, sure, Kobe and I have had our problems in the past, but, like, I don't like hearing about this with any big YouTuber who influenced the Sonic community or any community, you know? So I was like, sometimes I wish I didn't even know about this. I wish I was like, hear no evil, speak no evil, because, like, what can I do to help out? Well, I'm helping out now. She writes, some info can't be public because I don't want to be the reason she gets hurt. I wrote, oh, I see. But nobody has a clue Kobe is capable of this. Neither did I. She writes, she seemed kind of brainwashed and highly manipulated. That's what's scary. All his fans will give him ammo to feel he's good. And he knows that. He literally says that to girls. He's using his fans as a power trip. He still makes money off of their support. He loves that. And I wrote, of course. And she says he told his friends to never contact him again. He refused to go to get help. She's like, man, when you hear it all, you're going to be shocked. And this is true. Kobe uses his fans for his support. He doesn't even like you guys. Let me be honest. If there's one thing Cobanermani and I have in common is we don't like the Sonic community. We hate it, in fact.
GamerGuyd, you have it.
Except Kobe's intentions are more malicious.
GamerGuyd, you have exceptions. Don't even go there.
He said that several times to Kat, who has
relayed that information. We practically
you guys
DM
are
each
the
other
reason
at
why
least
he
once
quit.
a week.
Let me repeat that. You guys are the reason why Cobanermani quit YouTube. He's been wanting to quit since 2016. Kat has been the reason why he has remained. She has persuaded him to just stay on the platform a little longer for your fans. And he stayed until 2018. The only reason why his channel isn't taken down, he didn't delete his channel, is because he's still making money off of you guys. He's still making money off of you losers. If YouTube changed the rules that they're going to start demonetizing channels who don't post all for over a year, and they demonetize all of Kobe's videos because, you know, they want to run ads on more active channels, Kobe will delete his channel immediately. That's the only reason why he's still up. Not so you guys can be nostalgic watching his old videos. They're up because he's still making money off y'all. If he stopped making money, he will delete it because his channel is still a good source of income for him. And then she writes, he lied about so much. It's actually like, who is he really? And I write, okay, he's pulling an Etika now with that move, telling his friends not to talk to him. And she writes, but here's the thing. He got all these details, and that's what he's doing. Because Kobe wanted to be the center of attention. He didn't do this until Etika. He literally does whatever to get attention. The less I talk about him, the more he talks about me to people. It's very creepy. Now, if you knew the details, you'd get why he's saying that. It's not like Etika. And I wrote, oh, okay, well, explain to me, please. Because I don't know when I'll be available to talk. Way busier now than I used to be. Yeah, I remember I was pulling a lot of hours in my work. I work in the hospital, so I was working like 5 days a week. And then she writes, it's going to have to be a message because it's a lot to type. Basically, he's been lying about his identity, too. I wrote, okay, well, type away then. And what? You got to spill the tea, Cat. So the girl was trying to hit me
Hey, now, I'm going to stop this right there before we get into this. If there ain't no proof of some of these allegations, I'm not going to buy it. I need proof, as in, like, proof stating and showing this stuff. I'm not doing no he say, she say. I need legit proof. Documents.
for days because she was saying he had done the same thing to me to her. She was asking me for help. I'm scared to say some stuff though. I don't know what he's capable of. He did a lot of illegal stuff, so I'm scared.
But if there's these victims, and they say something too, and they show some sort of proof, well, them just speaking out about it will be some sort of proof. If that's the case, then I'll believe it a little. But for all I know, this could be all just be a mock-up. But until I see proof and witnesses, I'm not going to believe it.
He said, I told you how she said he left my name on her voicemail, which is why she contacted me. Seems like he made it seem like he was coming to me, which is scary, given all the other details. People need to remember, Kobe's channel is and was a kid's channel. He was a kid who blew up and kept up with his childhood. He has been using money to keep people as pawns and corner women to make us feel less powerful because he knows his fans will attack. Yes, Kobe knows how blind you Sonic fans are, how much you will attack. If you can attack me for just making a joke about Sonic Twitter, the anime, I know someone like Kobe knows that you guys will just come in the hundreds to go and dogpile someone like he did to Kat. She's risking her life, risking herself, even telling me this, even having me show you guys this. And she says, no one cares about us harm, though. I never wanted to publicly talk about Kobe. I begged him to stop because I didn't want to do it, because I talked to him about how his fans would be. So he cornered me with that too until I wasn't afraid anymore. But him seeing his fans don't care what he did made him feel more powerful to do it to more women. I feel it's messed up because Dez lost his life. She's talking about Desmond Etika. Dez lost his life to this, and yet Kobe is using his mental health to guilt women. That's sick to me. Maybe Kobe feels guilty that he pushed suicide talk on Desmond a lot. Sucks because they have money to get help, you feel me? Therapy is expensive for most of us, but Kobe Dev has had the money to get help. And I wrote, yeah, this is too much to take in for me. Just read through it. Yeah, I was as shocked as you guys are hearing this right now. And she writes, he knows where I live. And I wrote, I don't know what you or I can do, Kat. And since our lips have to be sealed, that means Kobe can do whatever he wants with no consequences. That pisses me off. Because last year during my own drama, people were trying to paint me as a criminal. Yeah, I think you should call the police on him now, if you don't feel safe. You know, he did some shit. I'm scared for the girl too, to be honest. He did way worse, and he corners us all. And they too scared. I'm the only one who spoke up. She deactivated her page, man, SMH. I wrote, damn, so Kobe not really married with her, right? And then she says, oh no, he married to her. And she said she could get in trouble if people find out because it gets so much worse with details. I'm scared he's going to find me if it gets out. And I wrote, okay, wait, did they officially get married the legal way? And by the way, guys, if you don't know, when you marry someone, you just don't say you're married. You have to file legal papers because you're married by law. If you just claim you're married to someone, that is illegal because you didn't file the papers. The wife has to change her last name and all that jazz. And then Kat writes, because he found her after she moved. And I wrote, oh, so that's why you didn't want me to tell anyone he's married? He found her and wrote, till death do us part. No, he pushed her to marry him. Yes, because she could go to jail. He seems like he's on the run, to be honest.
Alright, oh my gosh. What is this? One of those animated story times? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I can't believe it. I won't. This sounds a bit too much. It seems like a bit too much for it to be real. He found her and wrote, till death do us part. That's...
Honest. And I wrote,
yes, I'm going
wow,
to be
that thing you wrote
pausing
can be
and pausing
interpreted in different ways. Like he'd kill for her or kill her if they can't be together. And she wrote, the fact he found this girl and wrote that is scary. He's on the run from what? He created his own hell. And she writes, okay, I'm going to tell you because I want you to know just in case. Yes, please, because this is confusing me. Just in case what? And she writes, but I'm scared. If he finds out, she told me he'd kill her or something. He pushed her to marry him, she said. He begged her and said he'd get deported if she doesn't. Apparently he's not legal, which is why he's been trying to manipulate so many women to marry him. She says she feels guilty because he helped her with rehab. So Kobe does nice things to hold it over women's heads, like how he pushed this other girl to meet her mom who had cancer. And I write, the fuck? How he not legal? Where was he born, Mexico? And she said he's not born here. So he begged her to marry him and said his life would be over if she didn't. So technically she could go to jail for doing that. You see how he has her cornered? She asked for a divorce. He said no and hung up and disconnected his number. And I wrote, and wouldn't he still go to jail and deported? And she said, yes, he would. I was like, WTF. So I feel like he's threatening her. And I said, he is. Something's got to be done about this, though. She said, well, she could go to jail. She said, I was mad at her because I'm like, look, you tell me all this and you putting both of our lives in danger. He found her when she moved. How scary is that? And I said, yeah, it reminds me of my parents, how my dad found out where my mom and us moved after they divorced. And she said, that's so scary. Wow. And I was like, yeah. And then, talking about my life. She said, I'm sorry I had to go through that. And all these girls have wild stories about him. I was like, it's okay. If I talk about my dad, we'd be here for the next several days. I said, yeah, it's crazy. She said sometimes he'd buy her tickets and send an Uber to her house. Dang. He's dangerous, man. And she was so terrified to even tell me. She kept calling me brave for speaking out on him. And this is the screenshot she has of her. She said, hello, and Kat says, hi, love. I would gladly talk to you. Sorry I don't be on here much. How did you find me? And she writes, well, Kobe left me a disturbing voicemail off some anonymous, and now his phone is disconnected. I texted his dad, but he hasn't replied to me. I hope he didn't hurt himself, but I don't know. And he told me about you, and he mentioned your name in the voicemail. Do you know where he may be? I feel bad how I treated him, but he's a psycho, but I don't want anyone killing themselves. Also, guys, this whole Kobe's dad, that's all a running gag. That's a joke he made up. Kobe's been knowing his dad. He's been estranged from his dad. Now, I don't know about his family issues with his mom and dad. I know his mom tried using him for his money, but Kobe knows his dad. His dad never ran away. Kobe is the one that ran away from his dad. When he got in trouble, when Kat exposed him and he left his channel, that's when he wanted to reconnect with his dad to get away from all the social media drama. He canceled himself before anyone could cancel him. Then he takes a picture with him and his dad and says that, oh, I finally reunited with my dad. Get the fuck out of here. You've been knowing your dad, man. What a liar. And you all bought into that. And then Kat says, this was how she messaged me. She said, when Kobe doesn't get his way, he threats to kill himself. I said, damn, so Kobe is suicidal. She said, nah, that's what he does when you tell him no. And I was like, good to know, SMH. Oh, okay. And then she says, all the girls have the same story. I said, yep, he just like my dad, manipulative. He asked this to her after she asked for a divorce. And I was like, man, Kobe should be on the Chris Hansen show on YouTube. How can we make that possible? Chris Hansen has been covering Onizon, or Onizon, whatever his name is. She said, I found out that the less I talk about him, the more he talks about me and stalks my page. I said, for his abusive marriage and relationships, yeah, so we need to talk about him more. And she says, no, because he wants us to talk so he can get more views. I said, I'm sure you can contact him since he mingled with YouTubers now. And she says, when we was talking about him, his views went up. And that's true. I was like, I don't know. That's not something to take lightly. He can get deported. So fuck his videos at that point, LOL. She said, yeah, and then come after me. And I wrote, where's he from anyways, originally? And she said she didn't fully say. Also, I told you how Kobe told me he'd kill himself at too many games in front of those kids if I stopped talking to him. Yeah. He does it to all these women when he doesn't get his way. And I said, yep, LOL, that's crazy. And she said, like, he couldn't silence me. So my guess is that Cobanermani is from Mexico because his last name Abrego is Spanish. He's either from some Spanish-speaking country originally and moved over to America. I don't know how old he was when he moved here. And she says, the lawyer basically was trying to manipulate me to shut up because a girl told Kobe she read what I wrote. Kobe doesn't text because he was afraid he would get caught. And she said, sorry, this is a lot. And I said, oh, I see. And yeah, it is. That was a lot. Like, my mind was just blown when she was telling me this. I'm like, are we talking about the same Cobanermani, or is this someone else? Is this an imposter? And then she sent me a screenshot of someone. I'm going to block his name because, I mean, this person doesn't know who the real Kobe is. He says, some nostalgia. I miss Kobe so much. And I wrote, if they only knew the real Kobe. She said, they would most likely not care, sadly. I said, yeah, this whole thing is pointless. She said, yeah, because they find out they're just going to be like, man, that's crazy. I miss Kobe, though. I said, yeah, SMH sucks. He said, I hope he gets help and is okay. They will say nothing about the people he's harming unless it was other YouTubers. He paid $300 just to get that card. Also, the guy wouldn't have it. To be honest, Kobe doesn't like anyone. He plays nice so he can be like, okay, she's talking about capture card. You remember in the early 2010s when the 3DS was like all the rage? So people were buying these special capture card devices so they could emulate 3DS on the computer, because Nintendo never made a capture device, or they never made a way to record your 3DS games. So I got this back in 2013, but I knew when Kobe got it, he never told anyone how he got it, because Kobe always wanted to be one step ahead of the game. You know, he always wanted to be ahead of the competition and just leave others behind. I will get to that later. That's not as important as this. But I write, yeah, I spent that amount on 3DS Capture Card 2 a year later. I was always following Kobe's tactics. He and I have something in common then. And I said, I don't like anyone from this community either. I'm just more honest and blunt. And she wrote, LMFAO, he used to send me all the shit stuff his fans said. He wanted to quit. Kobe wasn't making videos at all and was going to quit, but he would make videos and put Easter eggs in them so I could watch. These people hate me when I gave them an extra year of him, when he was going to quit for good in 2016. And then when he made videos, a lot of the fans complained. LOL, he was obsessed over his comments. And I wrote, oh, LOL, I'm not. I do read my comments a lot though, which I need to stop doing so much. But I usually don't care what they say. And if they hate, I use that as motivation. And she said, he sent me comments all the time on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. I said, oh, LOL, wow. You could have really made him the next Pro Jared and ruined his reputation, but you didn't. And she said, oh, if he come back, I'ma roast him. I sure the fuck could have. And I said, yeah, I'm kind of mad at you now, LOL, because I would. People would have believed you more. And she said, I was anxious and scatterbrained. He did so much shit, I didn't even think of that. And I feel they would have slut-shamed me, etc., because I am a sexual person. If he comes back, I got more ammo. He'd hate if they knew that. I wrote, nah, they wouldn't have. Did you follow Jared's drama at all, LOL? He was in an open relationship with his wife, Holly. That's already a red flag and was frowned upon. Now, this was before Pro Jared made a response video showing receipts. At the time this was being texted, Pro Jared was still off the internet. He was still a bad person in our eyes. Now she wrote, yeah, Kobe wanted to get a lawyer because more girls were confronting him. I was just wanting him to stop. That I didn't even think about the fact he sent me unsolicited nudes. Oh yeah, she told me about this. It's not here, but Kobe used to send her unsolicited nudes of his dick. Not just his dick, but also of his ass. Like he would just take pictures of his butt. I don't know why. That is weird.
Okay, that's actually kind of funny. I'm not even gonna lie. What does unsolicited mean? Oh. Alright.
That is cringe, but Kobe's a weird guy. So he would do that, she would be like, why are you sending this to me? Please stop. And he would just say no and continue doing it. That's just wrong. And I wrote, oh, okay, LOL. I said, yeah, well, I didn't even know he did that. If you deleted those, then yeah, no one's going to believe you now. People think you confused him and led him on. He said, nah, I'm sure they're still there. To be honest, Kobe likes seeing people suffer. He's like a sadist. He said he never would because he's afraid what would get out when he's dead. He fears God too much. Well, I know Kobe, he came from a very Christian family. You know, he was Republican. I remember he used to hate Obama and stuff. And I wrote, okay, that's good, I guess, LOL. And she said he wouldn't shut up, and now he must feel guilty.
I swear, didn't he used to make Trump jokes in 2016?
And I wrote, well, then something will def happen to him. And she said, after all his false suicide talk. And I said, he can't continue going on like this. Karma will get him. And she sent me one of the texts when Kobe used to harass her, or used to stalk her. And Kobe says, because I'm ignoring the silly shit. I'm editing too. Vid's coming out pretty well. What are you up to? And she writes, I don't want to talk to you. Seriously. And Kobe just writes, nope, not falling for that again. What kind of dude doesn't take no for an answer? And then she writes, see? And I wrote, wow, LOL, you could not shake him off. There are several DMs about Kobe that Catherine has sent to me, but these are just the important ones because we'd be here forever if I read you everything. I know you're all in disbelief over the screenshots I've just read. Well, believe. Not all the blame goes to Kobe's fan base, though. He also had a toxic circle of friends who were a very bad influence on him. They only enabled his behavior instead of intervening and confronting him about it. Now, one of the things I had to get clarification on was about Cobanermani being a baby killer. Or in other words, forcing a girl he slept with to commit an abortion. Here's the screenshots. I have a question. Did Kobe ever force a girl he had sex with to commit an abortion? I told Kat to get the info on that since she told me that last year. Yes, it was a stripper in Memphis, Tennessee. He was seeing a girl named Jasmine when this stripper, whose name I don't remember, when this girl, the stripper, called him and told him she was pregnant. He then flew out to Memphis to pretend like he loved her, to coerce her into having an abortion. I feel like Jasmine might actually know her name, I just don't know how we would reach her. And I wrote,
Alright.
wow, that's...
Let me say my 2 cents on abortion. I don't consider that baby killing necessarily. In a way it is, but it's not. But I mean, the baby's not born yet, so it's not necessarily baby killing. I don't really find a problem with abortion, but alright, look, forcing the parent to kill the baby to get an abortion is wrong. However, if you decide to keep the baby but the other doesn't want it, then you should have to do that, take care of it on their own, because they didn't want a kid. That's one thing I don't like about these anti-abortion laws and whatnot, because like, you're forcing people into a life they don't want to be in. Some people want to just clap some cheeks. Some people just want to clap their cheeks or get their cheeks clapped. But now you're forcing them into a lifestyle that they don't want to be in. But if it's forced, then hell nah.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm currently sorting the script now and plan to record this tomorrow, but thanks for telling me this info. That's confirmed Cobanermani forced a girl to commit an abortion. No girl would lie about this, as women have rights over their own body. You know, Planned Parenthood and all that. No woman would lie about a man forcing her to commit an abortion in this situation. If Kobe is really innocent, he's more than allowed to come back on YouTube and defend himself, which he has not done. To force someone who's carrying a child to commit an abortion because of your selfish needs is unbelievable, especially when you're already in a relationship. You may be wondering why Kobe has been behaving like this towards women all these years. Well, I believe he learned this behavior from his toxic friends, Kobe's 2 friends Giancarlo and Blah Blah LPs. As you may recall, Giancarlo has gotten in trouble with women before. Etika even made a video on this when he was alive about John and Nate wants to battle his girlfriend. Well, this is another issue. I won't mention this girl's name as she's moved on and wants to keep her life private, but she was once a PokeTuber whose career was short-lived due to John and Blah posting revenge porn on her over at Pornhub.com. Let's read the DMs. Now here's the first message I wrote to her. This was like in September of 2019. I wrote, "Hey there, I tried reaching out to you a few months ago, but you rejected my follow request. I want you to keep this a secret between us, but I really sympathize for what those assholes Blah Blah and GCPM put you through. What they did to you is illegal. They put up a leaked nude vid of you called which forced you to go private, am I right?" Which is true, it did force her to go private. That's why she didn't trust me at first when she rejected my friend request. So I wrote, "Well, I heard about this a few months ago and decided to take action. I sent them a threatening email through an alternate account so they don't know it's me to immediately take down the video, or else authorities will be contacted for them committing revenge porn on you. I sent that 2 days ago and they completely deleted the video and their account. It's totally gone now," and I posted the link just to let her know that it was gone. I wrote, "I don't know why nothing has been done since they did that awful thing to you without your consent. But I felt that was the right thing to do, especially that I heard that you're in nursing school. So am I. I'm about to graduate too. And I know how professional and serious that field of work is. So you can't be having things like that ruining your reputation." And she responded back by saying, "Hello, actually I've never had this resurface or anything like that, but what you did is highly appreciated. And nursing is tough. Kudos to you for being a lifesaver. I actually got into medical school for this year. I'm private because of an ex, but I am secretive because of that instance you mentioned. I don't say a lot of details about my life or where I work. Thank you again, this made my night. I've been having a rough day and this is amazing to see. Yeah, I know they've been causing other people trouble for a while now, and it's really sad they have nothing better to do. You really did a good thing. I just hope it doesn't make them mad or make them think I'm coming after them." So this means they have done this before to other women. Let's say one of them tries to ask a girl out, she rejects him. And people exchange nudes, via text and everything. What if Giancarlo or blah blah also did the same thing and uploaded porn of them in other websites? Who knows? And I said, oh wow, didn't know about your ex, but glad I could help. Did you used to be their friend or something? Because that's fucked up that someone would do that. And she writes, yeah, I know they went after him and I just stayed out because who knows anymore, but no one deserves to be treated like that. And no one should act like that towards others like those guys. There's mature ways to handle things. I know who they all are, and we were all friends and trusted them, and we all shared secrets, etc. But I know they got bored and took advantage of me and the trust. That's good. I don't like that they play children's games like Pokemon and have a young audience and are like this. It's vile. Exactly what I've been saying. But I'm glad they did what they did, because I realized that YouTube wasn't for me, but school was. They were not real friends. I really thought that was my place in life. And karma, I heard Kobe is not in the business. And I wrote, yeah, haha, Kobe is pretty much lost. I see him every now and then on Soli's vids or Etika's Twitch live streams, but he hasn't posted on his channel since May last year. I don't know if you know about Kat Hartwell, but she exposed him for cyber stalking and abusing, manipulating her. But his fans defend him till this day, SMH. And she said, yes, she spoke to me, because they were harassing her and she wanted advice. I told her to go private, but I know it wasn't what she wanted. I hope she's relieved now. And there will always be diehard fans. I've seen it in every YouTube community. I've been through a lot of shit on my channel, but I still persevered with it and balanced it with my school. I just was under the assumption those bastards made you quit YouTube because of what they did to you. Blah blah was rude to me way back when we first met in 2013. So this is just my way of getting back to him, lol. I wrote, as for GCPM, he's just a scumbag criminal that should get in trouble for all the fraud he's done. So I'm more than happy to help. So, yeah, we ramble here, but then it gets to the part where I say, and yeah, she still gets death threats via DMs from Kobe's fans, shaking my head. And she says, yeah, I'm not sure why they're like that, but that's their problem. I just wish the Pokemon community didn't let him post their content. He doesn't deserve that innocent company. Blah was actually a runt in that group when I became friends with them. They'd humiliate him a lot and pick on him until I showed, and we started talking, and he then was able to be cool and expose me because of revenge. So be safe out there, you guys. Don't let these people get to you either, nor stoop to their level. And I wrote, oh, don't worry, I was never part of their circle, because I like to be myself. I had no one to help grow my channel, because they all hated me back when I was a small channel, of only a couple hundred subs. So you're saying that you and blah blah liked each other? LOL, didn't even know that dude was picked on a lot. Can't say I feel bad for him, though, because he dissed me as well when I wanted to do a collab with him way back in 2013. Told me I'm an irrelevant channel that will never amount to anything. Now look, I have more subs than him. That's called karma. And I told her also, I'm not going to just settle at blah blah GCPM taking down your video. They're both in my network screenwave. So I'm going to report them to the manager and have them kicked out of the network. And I did do that. Ian was the manager that time. So I came back to her and I was like, not trying to bring this up again, but the screenwave manager just resolved everything. He said he contacted both blah blah and GCPM and told them that if they ever pull that stunt and leak news of someone like they did to you, they'll kick them out of the network. So I have them in check. You're welcome. I just did what I had to do to look out for others. And she said, hey, thank you. I hope they learned their lesson. Thank you. So that's about it. That is something I did, a very selfless act I did, because that's just wrong. When I see something wrong, I have to respond. So as you can see, Kobe's friends were just as bad. Now, I'm not trying to victimize Cobanermani here, but I'm pretty certain that his behavior was learned from his friends. Kobe may be 25 years old now, but remember, he started his channel when he was very young, 14 years old in April 2010, and got big very quickly. He was still going through puberty and needed proper guidance, but wasn't given any. Anyway, it's really sad that when people like Kat tried multiple times to speak out about Kobe, his friends and fan base would silence her. Even recently last month during the whole Smash and FGC scandals, people like Ultra Nick still tried to shut her up, causing me to intervene, only for Ultra Nick to switch topics and try to dog on me over something that happened 7 years ago. So I'll say it right here and right now to anyone who doesn't already know. Remember Dennis Wallace back in 2013? Yeah, that was me. I met Kobe back in 2011. He actually was one of the people that helped me start my channel in the first place, offering me some advice here and there. As I continued with my channel, I realized that Kobe wasn't really trying to help me. He would tell me one thing and do another to make sure he's ahead of the game. I got very frustrated when I started my channel at first, as I was new to the whole LPing thing. And as I started befriending more people, they expressed the same frustration towards Kobe as well. A lot of small YouTubers I knew didn't really like him or pretended to like him just to get some clout. The same goes for some of his friends. They were only his friends to get that clout from him too. He was gatekeeping his success only to a circle of friends, but still wanted to be number one as he didn't really care about anyone but himself.
YouTube, because that's all people ever do.
Everything
No
was always a
discussion videos or
competition for
nothing.
him, and he always had to be first. So I felt kind of betrayed. Mix that in with the LPer drama of 2012 and people antagonizing me even though I was a small YouTuber. Also, Kobe started the rumor that I was botting subscribers, back when I went from 200 to 500 subscribers within a month. That is barely much of a sub growth. But Cobanermani was determined to make me look bad and discredit me so I'd never catch up to him in subs. Maybe he was hoping that I'd fall into irrelevancy or something, but many of his friends believed the sub-botting allegations when I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers at the time. All that built-up anger made me plan out an attack to take his channel down. This was around June of 2013. I downloaded some of his videos, re-uploaded them on another channel, called it Dennis Wallace, and used that channel to copy strike his videos, which made YouTube to take his channel down and caused an immense uproar. Now this is something that nobody can do anymore as YouTube strengthened their flimsy copy strike rules. Anyway, I had someone wear a mask pretending to be Dennis Wallace, posing as a racist who was against black YouTubers, while I privated my channel to look innocent. In hindsight, that was incredibly stupid and malicious of me. And eventually, I got caught by Kobe and his friends. I apologized to his network, his account was reinstated, we made amends, and all was forgiven. So trying to hold this over my head now, as if this nullifies all the terrible and criminal things Kobe has done to his victims over the years, is beyond stupidity. Since this was a long time ago when I was in my early 20s and only had around 700 subscribers. So I'm talking about it now as no one really cares about that shit because most people don't even remember it or knew who I was. We all make mistakes.
I didn't even know that
some
even
worse than
happened.
others, and I've owned up to mine. But
Or ever heard of
has
it
not
either.
owned up to his. He runs away from his problems and tries to evade the law. Well, his days of running away are over. If he doesn't come back to YouTube to apologize and explain what he's done, then he's never coming back after this, and will just prove to the world that he's 100% guilty and a coward, which we all know he is. If you still support him and his channel, that's your decision. I always say you gotta be able to separate the art from the artist. But if this video makes you want to start problems with me and make me the bad guy, then you're part of the problem, not the solution. For years, people keep blaming me for stupid things that I'm not a part of. Oh, GamerGuyd is the reason why Kobe left YouTube. Oh, GamerGuyd tried to cancel a girl for owning a dildo. Oh, GamerGuyd bullies minors to do his bidding. Oh, GamerGuyd is a mob boss. Continue making excuses for yourself, but the truth will always come
I'm gonna
out.
DM him
And there's really
asking
no proper way
who
for
said
me
he
to
was
do
a
video
mob
like
boss.
this, as revealing all this information
God.
is extremely disheartening.
I ain't
and
never
shocking.
heard that before.
But the good thing is, I'm not alone in this. There are other people and YouTubers who know the truth and know that Cobanermani456 is not a good person, like VMeg17. So I'll end this video with some clips from his video titled Cobanermani456, the Sonic channel that ended on a sour note.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another video on my channel. I am heartbroken to have to make a video on this person. I looked up to him for years, and when I heard he was quitting YouTube, it broke my heart. But when I found out what he did, it hurt even more. The YouTuber I will be talking about today is Cobanermani456. This is when I guess this gave Kitty, the person we're going to be talking about today, more confidence to speak out about her interactions with Kobe. This ended up in her making a tweet longer, and it reads, "Message. Just because you like someone's content doesn't mean they do no wrongs. Their job is to be liked by you. They are entertainers." I'm writing this because it seems most people do not know what happened between me and Cobanermani456. It's a shame I'm still dealing with this 2 years later because his fans still send me death and rape threats because he didn't properly address on his YouTube and what he did to me before deleting his Twitter. I know he said he'd left for his mental health. Could be also true, since he did say to me that he was trying to leave when I met him in 2016. He was not making content. He basically started putting Easter eggs in his videos for me to get himself motivated to film. I did not ask him to do this. It felt pressuring because he made it as if I didn't talk to him, he'd stop making content again. So, in a lot of ways, it was manipulative and emotionally abusive. I cannot post everything in this due to the fact I might still have to go to court and want to make sure the groundbreaking evidence gets saved for trial, if there is one, because he tried to get me to be silent and erase everything. Anyway, again, I had met Kobe when he followed me in 2016. He liked a bunch of my tweets and then we were friends. He would talk to me about his relationship/ex and I'd give him advice, and then suddenly, he was obsessive towards me and wanted me to be with him. There are times I wanted to be done, but I felt like he'd take his life if I left, and he actually said he would. One time, he was at this event called Too Many Games, and he told me that he'd take his life at the event if I did not talk to him. At the time, my PTSD was really bad, so his constant threats of taking his life really took a toll on me. This was very triggering for me, and I told him how triggering it was since I am a survivor of suicide, and have lost many friends and family to it, and overall, just triggering in general. He did not stop. Sometimes, he'd say he was gonna give all his stuff to me, then turn off his phone after he sent me really scary messages about taking his life, making it seem like it was the end. I reached out to some of his friends and told them what he was doing, and he got really upset and would call me screaming, and even sent me a picture of a hole he had punched in the wall. I just wanted them to know I was trying to get away from him, and if they could please help me, because blocking did not work, since he'd create more pages. I tried to nicely leave him alone, and that didn't work. I tried to be mean. I tried to help by getting him a therapist. He got one shortly. I thought even his therapist telling him to leave me alone would help, but it did not. I tried by telling his friends. It wasn't my job to help him, but when I felt like it was no way out after I would block him over and over, I had to out him to get him to stop. I unblocked him from my phone because it was too anxiety-inducing to get unknown calls. Also confusing because my family would sometimes call from unknown numbers. Also scary because he knew he was blocked and still called.
Okay. Before I start crying and crap. Alright, okay, if this is all true, why didn't you ever record any of this and just keep it? Just in case something like this happened. Just in case there was to be a video like this one we're watching now. Why wouldn't Cat, I get a feeling you probably might watch this. Why wouldn't you record any of it and then just put it in a cloud drive or something and save that for when you go full blown expose him? Like any of the calls you could have received, any of the, well, you did record the messages, but any calls you could have received. Like, why didn't anybody just record any of that crap?
And I did think with therapy he would actually get it and I wouldn't hear from him. I did hear from him last, but then it ramped right back up, and like I said, unblocking him from my phone was easier because less unknown phone numbers, etc. I shouldn't have to block or change my number in order to get someone to leave me alone. And it was a lot of time he would tell me every other week he thinks he has something. He'd tell me he thinks he's bipolar, etc. and would say he was going to get some tests to confirm, but never follow up. At least he never told me. Even so, he is violent, outbursts, and things he said about women in the past was scary, saying he'd destroy them, bragging to me about all the things he's done to people to silence them. Finally, I had the courage to speak up after he would not stop, and it was too much for my mental health. I told him before I would out him publicly, but mentioned how I didn't want his fans harassing me because I did. Ironically, I was right. I still have his fans also begging me to talk to him just to get him to come back on YouTube. Several girls have also reached out to me having similar experiences, but a lot of them are scared to come forward after seeing what his fans have been doing to me. The harassing, the racism, the death and rape threats. Some even create new pages too once I block them. Mental health is very important, but him using a mental health as an exit rather than addressing what he did to me directly is not okay. I have mental illness, and I did not do that. He did express to me that he was trying to quit YouTube for a reason, but I feel it's strange he never said that, and as well his goodbye messages dealing with his emotional abuse at the time. I knew him still taking a toll. But I most of all feel sad for the people who are too afraid. I know he sent a lawyer to me to take down my article after another girl he was manipulating came to him about my article. He will do the same to others and scare them into silence. Every time I would tweet, he'd message me on some other app or send me my tweets. I asked him to give me the account names so I could block them, and that didn't work because he would just keep making new ones. I did not and will not take it down because everything I wrote is true. Strange because he was encouraging me to post my truth. I guess he didn't think so many people would see it. When I blocked him, he'd get to the point of sending me messages through Cash App or PayPal, and at the same time there was no block option. Then I changed my number again. Before that, he was calling me on unknown numbers over and over. He didn't know where I lived, so that's also what made it scary when he'd say one day he'd just show up at my house. I did file a police report with more evidence. Sadly, they can only act if he physically harms me, which sadly how people end up dead. A lot of people knew this he was doing to me, but since they were friends, no one said anything. I made very clear boundaries and he would cross them by trying to use money or gifts to get me to answer him. That never worked. I'd asked him to stop and he would not. I think that was the only way he used to gain people's attention. Money. Financial manipulation would not work on me.
I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I need tissue.
Sadly, again, I would not be the only one with this type of story with him. When I outed him, he messages me, all of my friends begging for forgiveness, or anyone who mentioned me. I also have screenshots of this and everything else. This is when then she then mentions, if anyone wants to read my article, I wrote it here. This article has many screenshots of the thing he was saying and doing. Happy to post anything that helps, and hopefully this will help the woman who wrote me about him come forward whenever they're ready. Thank you. Much love to all the people who are sharing their stories. Kobe repeatedly stalked her, harassed her, and cyberbullied her by threatening her and triggering her, saying, I'm gonna kill myself if you don't respond to me and stuff, which it's really difficult. Because for the main reason, me and a lot of other people looked up to Kobe, and when we see things like this, it really breaks our heart. I have spoken directly to Kitty myself, and I want to mention that she has told me on multiple occasions that he has told her that he was going to quit YouTube. One of his many reasons for uploading was just for her. And as far-fetched as that sounds, as some of you may think, it's true. She gave me multiple examples of him naming her in a video.
What is it? Someone I've been talking to recently, her name's Kat Hartwell. She basically said, some really good advice that just made me think about a lot. It was just like, you never give from your source, you give from your overflow.
In the DMs with Kitty, she told me he left Easter eggs for her. Now you may ask, how would he do this? I can show you one of his Easter eggs made for Kitty. A bit of insight though. Kitty's favorite color is green, and well, her name is referencing a cat. Just think about that and remember it. Now let's think back to 2017. Sonic Forces was the second game to come out in that year. I hope you all remember there is always something unique about each Sonic game. Unleashed, the Werehog, Colors, the Wisps, and Sonic Forces had OCs. Do you know what Kobe made his OC look like? A cat. With green eyes. An Easter egg. Just for Kitty. I was told by Kitty that when she had told him to leave her alone or threatened to block him, Kobe replied that he was going to kill himself. Some things I could take from the screenshots was that Kobe clearly didn't take no for an answer. It is shown that he would repeatedly text her even when she didn't respond. He constantly made new accounts on Twitter and used Skype or had alternate phone numbers to contact her, showing that he wouldn't leave her alone. No matter how many accounts she had blocked, Kobe made a new one. Kobe tried to buy her back in a way when Kitty said, and I quote, "I made very clear boundaries and he would cross them by trying to use money or gifts to get me to answer him. That never worked. I asked him to stop and he would not." End quote. As I said before, Kobe didn't take no for an answer. In my DMs with Kitty, I had asked her if she was willing to set up an interview with me, and her reply was that she didn't want people to think that she wanted anything, meaning clout, from this situation. She said, and I quote, "It's kind of scary to think about doing anything," end quote. The reason Kitty is so scared is because Kobe knows where she lives. She says that she hasn't been able to move yet, but when I heard this, my jaw dropped. The guy I grew up watching turned out to be the same person who abused someone emotionally and mentally, which I thought he was never capable of. This is why people say looks are deceiving. This is all shown with the way he texts and how Kitty set up borders which he didn't respect. As of recording this video, Kobe has not texted Kitty since 2018 after the incident where she told some of Kobe's friends what he was doing to her, and Kobe didn't take too kindly to this. He got a bit aggressive, showing a picture sent to Kitty with a hole in his wall. All I can take from this is that if you saw Kitty's story before and thought of it as another attempt to clout chase, please don't think that. It's not some hoax or some lie. Please send all your support to Kitty. Her Twitter will be in the description down below. And honestly, that's all I have to say on this matter. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the content like this, please subscribe as it's greatly appreciated. In truth and honesty, this really was a hard video to make. No script or anything. This was a truly hard video to make because I grew up watching this person. I remember in 5th grade, I used to put in my agenda, watch Kobe's video after school, and some of you may think I'm lying, but I know I did. I put in my agenda, I know what video it was too. It was the Sonic.exe for Sonic Generations mod video, and it was for Mod Mondays. I remember it too. It just breaks my heart. I grew up and then I finally see this happen to someone I looked up to. But it's okay. I guess that's it for me though. Please go check out Kitty in the description down below. Thank you so much. This video would not be possible without you, Kitty. I hope we have some fix to your situation. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all you guys in the next one.
Okay, this is actually making me laugh more than cry. Can someone make a GIF out of this? Someone needs to make a GIF out of this. So that's the video. Good thing I didn't cry like I thought I was. I definitely did shed a few tears. Oh, you son of a bit. Okay, you know what? Cringy, strong chin ass motherfucker. Oh, Cyrus made a new video. Interesting. Benji and oh, nice. Cyrus, Luna, Benji made a video all in the same times, man. That's cool. That's cool. I don't know what to say. To Cat Hartwell, I'm not even gonna hold you. At first, I was a little skeptical, especially since there was this matter of fact, yeah. Let me show y'all the video I was talking about. There was this video I watched. Damn, I typed the shit in wrong. There was this video I watched talking about Kobe. The Curious Case of what's it called? The Curious Case of Kobe. What the fuck? Why are all these small channels from 2 weeks ago? Did these niggas know this shit before then? Anyway, I think it was called like The Curious Case of Cobanermani456. The Curious Case of anyways. Yeah, I think this was it. And he made a follow-up video. Need to watch that. VMAC has a channel? Nigga. Oh, I'm already subscribed. I don't see much from him. Anyways, enough sidetracking.
Coming back up.
So there was this video. If I can find it. The harassment allegations. So somewhere.
Experience talking to Kobe at 3.
So somewhere.
I talked to him throughout the toxic.
So there's this dude. Wait a minute. Ah, shit. Is that who I think he was talking about? Fuck me. Honestly, fuck me. Hold on, let me hit up GamerGuyd asking him. If you hear any screaming in the background, just know those are my parents playing fucking Monopoly on the PlayStation. I'll give it a minute, but basically, this was what I was referring to as. I don't know what the fuck the screenshot and shit is at. Who the fuck knows? Anyways, back to that video. I'll just go look for myself until he hits me back. I don't know.
And ran away from his dad. Pro Jared made a response video showing receipts. At the time, this was work is. So you can't be having things like that ruining your reputation. Battle's girlfriend. Well, this is another issue. I won't mention this girl's name as she's moved on and wants to keep her life private. but she was once a PokeTuber whose career was short-lived due to John and Blah posting revenge porn on her over at Pornhub.com. Let's read the DM.
I don't know, but that's what I saw. That's the video I keep talking about and shit, but fuck. Oh, no. Yep, it was one of them. Yep. GamerGuyd says so. Don't know if y'all can read that or not, but yep, that's one of them. Well, well, my throat feels fucking tight. It's a big bite to. This is a really big bite to chew.